I'm built to be as a triple threat, right? Like this is my skill set and my wheelhouse.
Welcome to MsMojo. And today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 reasons you should know who Ariana DeBose is.
I'm an actor, singer, and dancer, and overall artist. I work in a platform that allows me to make my work very personal.
For this list, we'll be looking at reasons that this star of stage and screen should be on your radar, if somehow she isn't yet. What role would you love to see Ariana take on next? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. She's hosting SNL, Saturday Night Live.
I love my job. Your host, Ariana DeBose.
Nothing said Happy New Year to theater fans quite like the news that Ariana would be hosting the first SNL of 2022. Of course, the actress is no stranger to Lorne Michaels' world, having recently worked with him on the musical comedy Schmigadoon.
Ready to cross and start our new lives? On 3, 1, 2, 3.
Also reuniting with her co-star Cecily Strong, perhaps we'll even see a sketch inspired by the show. The theater world exploded with delight at the announcement, and with good reason. DeBose is a phenomenally talented triple threat, and we can't wait to see her take on the sketch comedy world too.
That was 20.
I'm sweating.
That was legit.
I'm sweating, Josh. Well, I'm glad that worked out.
We're thrilled that SNL will introduce her to an even wider audience. Number 9. She competed on So You Think You Can Dance. So You Think You Can Dance. Only the most die-hard fans might remember that Ariana made her TV debut in season 6 of this dancing competition. Aged just 18 at the time, she made it to the top 20 before getting eliminated.
Well, I was on their one and only fall season, and I went home first, darling.
No. Her contemporary and hip-hop routines, though amazing, weren't enough to keep her in the competition. We imagine that it was heartbreaking to be the first contestant eliminated. But she says that the experience lit a fire under her that led to the amazing career she has today.
You're 18 and you're, publicly humiliated and being voted off in front of 6 million people, and then all of a sudden you got something to prove.
Indeed, with stage and screen credits, not to mention her own MsMojo video now too, no one's doubting her talent anymore.
Then it'll be great.
Amazing.
Number 8. She plays forward-thinking schoolteacher Emma Tate, Schmigadoon. Schmigadoon was hailed for the way it addressed outdated Golden Age musical tropes and flipped them upside down. And DeBose's character is a fine example. She plays a progressive schoolteacher who often pushes back at her town's conservative principles.
Must be hard being the only one around here with an actual functioning brain.
Oh, they're not so bad. They're just set in their ways is all.
Based on Marion from The Music Man, Emma embodies many of the qualities that women in old-timey musicals typically lacked. Her number, All of Your Heart, is one of the standout moments of the season.
But a life that's lived part way is no way to live.
DeBose's voice is absolutely stunning, and we could watch her tap dance all day. Her character story takes an interesting turn too, but you're not getting any spoilers from us.
So I understand if this means it's over between us, Josh.
It doesn't change how I feel about you, Emma.
Number 7. She speaks out on causes she cares about. Her career may only just be gathering steam, but Ariana is determined to use her platform for good.
But we have not yet really given us our due as young women of color with in regards to our coming out stories.
She's a strong advocate for female empowerment, LGBTQ+ rights, diverse representation, and equality for all. On screen, she chooses roles that give a spotlight to otherwise marginalized groups.
I just think it gives it some depth that perhaps, has never been allowed to be explored, because you don't see Afro-Latinas really in lead characters in this way often.
Indeed. Following her Golden Globe win, she posted about the arduous journey of inclusivity and visibility in the industry. She also talks about the difficulties of being a woman in a male-dominated world. But she encourages every young girl and woman to make sure that their voice is heard. Ariana is the cheerleader you never even knew you needed.
And to provide young people and parents with a blueprint that shows that, yes, the road is bumpy, but the happy ending is possible.
Number 6. She played Alyssa Green, The Prom.
The world's a different place. And sure, it's not great, but it's better because of people who have the courage to be who they are.
Growing up, Ariana didn't have any queer Afro-Latina women to look up to. So, playing a romantic lead in Ryan Murphy's Netflix adaptation of The Prom was hardly an opportunity she could pass up. She stars as Alyssa, a closeted cheerleader who lives in constant fear of judgment.
Trophies have to be first place, ribbons have to be blue. There's always some competition or hoops for jumping through.
DeBose identified with her character due to a similar experience from her own school days. Seeing Emma and Alyssa finally able to dance together was like a cathartic prom do-over. Ariana and, of course, Jo Ellen Pellman became the role models that they needed growing up. We can only imagine what this meant to the LGBTQ+ community. Number 5. She's an LGBTQ+ icon. While we're on the subject, DeBose is a huge champion of LGBTQ+ rights and representation. She understands the responsibility of leading a queer love story and certainly doesn't take it for granted.
I don't know that someone could have played this role on screen without having these very specific experiences, or understanding that life experience.
Following The Prom, she and her co-star Jo Ellen launched the Unruly Hearts Initiative, a charity in aid of at-risk LGBTQ+ youth. She's also passionate about using education to help families be more understanding when a loved one comes out.
Your happy ending is possible. Don't give up on the possibility of your happy ending, because the conversations, they might be uncomfortable, but it can be done.
On a personal level, she's talked about how acknowledging her sexuality empowers her. Thanks to her dedication to the community, we're sure that she'll be a celebrated role model for generations to come.
It's really about acceptance and celebrating our humanity, and the way we move forward is by taking on the challenge of making said space.
Number 4. She's a Tony-nominated Broadway star. Before becoming a star of the silver screen, DeBose accumulated an impressive array of theater credits.
Hey girls, we killed it and we know it. Don't need that gold to show it when we know it inside.
We'll get more into a notable one in just a moment, but her full resume is pretty impressive. She made her Broadway debut in Bring It On the Musical, before going on to appear in shows like Motown the Musical, Pippin, Hamilton, and A Bronx Tale the Musical.
Shake hands, 'cause what do they know? There ain't no way that I'm letting you go.
In 2018, she earned a Tony nomination for playing Disco Donna, a role she originated in Summer, the Donna Summer musical. She might not have won it, but it was her nomination that caught the attention of Steven Spielberg.
Come on, baby, dance that dance. Come on, baby, dance that dance.
But more on that later. Number 3. She originated the role of the Bullet in Hamilton. Hamilton. Thanks to its Disney Plus release in 2020, audiences could really hone in on the musical's finer details.
Great that I'm already saying it approved. I just got home and now I'm headed up to New York.
You might recall a lot of fanfare surrounding one ensemble member and their rather special role in particular. The Bullet, played by DeBose, is a genius emblem of foreshadowing that shouldn't be overlooked. Even Ariana didn't realize the significance of her role until the first day of rehearsals.
What?
With this newfound knowledge, we imagine that audiences went back and watched the entire show again, but now with the Bullet as their main focus. Well, it was a great way for audiences to get acquainted with this brilliant performer.
She ran right up to me and she was like, "You're my favorite ensemble member, and I want you to know you're really acting through your dancing, and it's really something to behold." Wow.
Number 2. She's all about inclusivity. As an Afro-Latina queer woman, Ariana understands the importance of visibility and inclusion.
No matter what you identified as, that it didn't separate you from the next human being beside you. What if it was a strength? What if it just meant that you're different and that's a good thing? Why build a wall when you could build a bridge?
She hopes to use her platform to emulate a sense of community for her fans, much like the one she found in the musical theater world. Movies like The Prom and West Side Story present audiences with this vision of the world as a more accepting place.
Create more complicated relationships, create people that were more relatable to this generation than perhaps the generations of 1957.
This is a cause that DeBose cares for deeply, and one that you will continuously see her fighting for. She looks out for her fans and ensures that no matter how they identify, there's always a place where they belong.
Through social media, that's what I'm trying to do, create a sense of community for my fan base, which is largely LGBTQ plus youth. I try to emulate what I found in the theatrical community.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. She played the iconic role of Anita, West Side Story. There was a time, not that long ago, when we couldn't imagine anyone playing Anita other than the legendary Rita Moreno.
I didn't quite hear.
Very beautiful.
But then again, we hadn't seen Ariana's fresh, updated, and spirited reimagining of the iconic character. Presenting an Anita for the modern age, she left audiences totally floored by her performance. DeBose even had the OG's blessing.
She was like, I'll tell you anything you want to know. And I said, I want to know anything you want to tell me. And she said, lean into everything that makes you unique, and you don't need my help. You've got this.
In 2022, she deservedly won a Golden Globe, and of course, there's been plenty of Oscar buzz too. Moreno won an Oscar for playing Anita in 1962, making her the first Latina to win the coveted award. Imagine how incredible it would be if Ariana won the same award 60 years later.
I'm excited to be in any sort of conversation at all, but it's really about, carrying on that legacy for me.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.